right into strategy. It's a word that these days people throw around. Oftentimes they talk about strategy and when they really mean tactics. So I'd love to hear your definition of, when we think about it, kind of the context of business, entrepreneurship, how do you find kind of strategy and as well strategic management?
I've recently had a conversation with Ashok Vaswani. He's one of the board members of Barclays, and I talked to him about the time when he was in charge of Barclays in the UK. And he had a very simple way of defining it, which I liked a lot. Yeah. So he was saying strategy really tries to answer three very simple questions. Where are we at the moment? Where do we want to go? And how do we get there? It's simple, but I think it summarizes really well. So let me go with this one.
Like that sounds great. So let's put that in the context then for the independent solo consultant or even the kind of boutique small consulting firm owner. How have you seen, or how do you believe strategy should best be kind of applied or thought of? How can people use this concept of strategy in a small business?
So it's an interesting question you ask. You might have seen that I've actually written an article in Forbes on this. And for the small consulting firms, if they're trying to do what McKinsey, Bain, or BCG does, then they're lost before they started. Yeah, they have a massive machine with super smart people, huge marketing. You can't beat them on their own game. So you need to try and do something different. I think that's the only way how you can prevail as a small consulting firm. And you could do that in different ways. Yeah, you could do that if you're really super specialized in a particular industry. Some consulting firms do that, yeah, where they all about the pharmaceutical industry, for example. So that's one way. Another one is that you are completely focused on a particular topic. We find more and more of those who are somewhere in the tech space, yeah, AI driven, and you get critical mass in this particular area, which again, then you can compete. You have some of those, which in some countries then are in that particular area of expertise larger than actually BCG or McKinsey also is. So that's one way, yeah. The other one would be that you have a very particular idea and you are able to push around this idea. Yeah, we've seen that it's typically associated to some well-known personalities. So Clayton Christensen's idea about disruptive innovation, yeah, that saw a consulting firm emerge from that space. That's another option, yeah. One other thing which might work is if you have particular strong relationships. The business model from the large consulting companies is based on the big guy selling the product, but then you have young people often fresh out of their MBA doing the work. And there's some companies who don't like that. Yeah, they would like to have people with long-term experience working throughout and closely with them. And that's, what some small consulting firms do as well. Often, people who left the company but still stay close to that company or know others in this industry, they do that type of work. So, basically specialization, I guess, is my answer. You can't do everything, but you're good in one particular area.
Right. And so what I heard